Anyway. Oh, look! Dagadar came and left his plans over here. How convenient. Is this... Oh, Jesus. I need another sip of water. Right. Radio. Righto. The following documents were prepared by temple scholars and agents of the Inquisition for Lord Vivec. Oh, the Vivec Inquisition. I guess you can expect that. From interrogation of captured sleepers and other Sixth House cultists, from study of manuscripts written by cultists and victims of dream-induced mania, from interviews with Lord Vivec concerning historical campaigns against Red Mountain, and from broad conjectures and inferences made upon these materials, this is our best estimate of Dagadur's motivations and objectives in this most recent phase of his war upon Morrowind. Anyway, here's his first goal. It is to establish a theocracy in Morrowind based on the worship of the newborn god Akulakan. Actually, that's easier to pronounce than you think. Akulakan! 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 It basically sounds like I killed a can. Not bad. Not bad. Second Numidium, to be created by Dagat from the heart of Lorkhan. Wait a minute. Why go through all of this and not just beat the guy himself? Whatever. In a body constructed according to the principles and rituals pioneered by the Dwemer Kagranak, established the ancient heirs of House Dagoth as the god priest of Kulakan, and the Sixth House of Dagadar as the dominant political power in Morrowind. Why? This plan sucks! Anyway. Through charismatic conversion, unite the Dunmer under the guidance of Dagadar to battle against the foreign animals who hold Morrowind in subjection. Note. Dagadar has apparently adopted the views and motivations of the Dwemer High Craftlord Kagranak. In effect, he recapitulates the ancient blasphemous folly of the Dwemer. Ooh. What if Dagadar is Kagranak? Kagranak just took over his mind. That could have happened. Expose the false worship of the Tribunal and destroy the Oh god. Yeah, I think it's ecclesiastical authority, whatever that means, and political power of the temple. How much the dissident priests or the cult of Nerarine may be controlled or influenced by the Sixth House in this regard is open to speculation. Extirpate? Why can't you just use normal words? Like, kill them! Or something. Anyway, extirpate all remaining individuals of inferior and mongrel races from Morrowind, drive the Empire from Morrowind, recover ancient territories stolen by Skyrim and Argonia. Skyrim, oh god. I'm going crazy. Extend the worship of Akulakan to all nations of Tamriel through subversion and conquest. I still think this plan is stupid, but let's move on. Maybe some genius will be revealed through the phases. Secure Red Mountain against Tribunal intruders. Deny Tribunal access to the heart, weakening the temple while securing Red Mountain for the creation of Kulakan. Keep the construction of Second Numidium a secret. What is Numidium anyway? Create passive servants in ever-widening circles around Red Mountain by broadcasting compulsions couched in dream imagery to susceptible subjects in their sleep. Establish a major operational base at Kagurun, yes. For further operations in the Ash Wastes, establish smaller bases near small port villages and in lower-class waterfront districts in Vivec. Infiltrate and subvert smuggling syndicates. Recruit willing followers from disaffected populations, including the underworld, the poor, and rabid anti-imperial activists. Expand from smaller bases to other towns and villages and recruit and indoctrinate subjects made susceptible by dream sendings. Occupy abandoned towers and ruins and train corrupted cultists as raiders and irregular troops. Identify, discredit, and decimate possible sources of political resistance. Use assassination and terror to weaken, distract, and disrupt the legions and the imperial bureaucracy along with their Lalu sympathizers. Inspire popular uprisings of the native poor against the foreign rich and powerful. Okay. Summon sleepers and dreamers to dig a earth to work on second medium. What the fuck are sleepers again then, in this case? How are they more than just some guy who has fallen asleep and having a dream? Inferring Dagot-Ur's perspectives. Dagot-Ur thinks on a large time scale, for the most part in the outside of time scale of the divine consciousness. He thinks that only obstacles of mythic scale are worth consideration. He believes he is fated to rule Morrowind, to free Morrowind of the Empire, and to become the new hard-loving father of Morrowind. Given that perspective, the only opposing forces Dagot-Ur worries about are the Tribunal, the Daedra, the Emperor, and the Incarnate. That would be me, the Incarnate. I should have named that like the game. The Morrowind 3. The Incarnate. Yeah. Morrowind 3? What the fuck? The Elder Scrolls 3. Jeez. With the Tribunal's loss of Sunder and Keening, and with the diminishing resources of Vivec, Almalexia and Sadasil, Dagot-Ur believes he has permanently gained a decisive strategic advantage. On a moral timescale, the battle may last for centuries, but the outcome is not in doubt, and the Kulakan may be a device for dramatically reducing the timescale for a decisive victory. The myth of dynamic invincibility of the Emperor and the Empire has long been an unquantifiable and intimidating threat. But recent rumors of unrest in Cyrodiil and the Emperor's failing health and the unsettled question of the succession have diminished the scale of that threat. Nonetheless, the revelation that a Nerevarine is a pawn of Imperial intelligence handpicked and sent to Morrowind by the Emperor himself may cause Dagot-Ur considerable anxiety. The Daedra represent no coherent obstacle to Dagot-Ur. Nonetheless, their personal abilities and their influence upon their fanatic followers is considerable, their motives and actions obscure, and Dagot-Ur remains concerned about them. The Incarnate represents Saint Nerevar, a mythic force that has previously defeated Dagot-Ur, and Dagot-Ur is obsessed with this threat. At the same time, Dagot-Ur knew Nerevar personally, knew that he was a mortal man with faults and weaknesses. Dagot-Ur may have some hope of seducing or negotiating with Nerevar's incarnation. Further, when Nerevar and the Tribunal defeated Dagot-Ur, they were strong and allied. Now the Nerevarine and the Tribunal are weak, opposed, and divided. Therefore, though the Nerevarine and the Tribunal represent the most serious threat to the Dagot-Ur plan, he still has a good reason to believe that this time he will prevail. A recent timescale of Dagot-Ur's activities. Much of the following timescale is based on inference from incomplete information. Before Second Era 882, Dagot-Ur and his skin lie dreaming beneath the sills of Red Mountain. Second Era, year 882, Dagot-Ur and its ash vampires peed their pants and then awoke refreshed and emerged from lower Red Mountain into the Heart Chamber. How convenient. Daggett ritually binds himself and his brethren as heartwights in a ritual of his own devising. First stages of construction of second Numidium, conceived during the long sleep, are begun by heartwights and Atronach constructs in the chamber near the heart of Lorcan. Keeping the second Numidium project a secret from the Tribunal is a high priority. Same year, the Tribunal wake up in Peter Pans when they arrive at the Red Mountain for their annual ritual bathing in the Heart's power. Daggett and Ash Vampires ambush the Tribunal. The Tribunes are driven away and prevented from restoring themselves with Kagranak's tools at the heart of Lorcan. Ooh, so they need to restore themselves. Well, well, well. Aren't you out of luck? Second Era 882 to Third Era 417. Intermittent Tribunal campaigns assault Red Mountain. The Tribunal and supporting forces seek to force access to the Heart Chamber, but are repeatedly driven back. Daggett recruits sleepers and dreamers through dream sendings. Cultists are recruited through dream compulsion. Weaker cultists become corpus beasts. What? Stronger cultists advance through stages towards the powers of the ascended sleepers. That sounds like some really lazy people. Third Era 400. Kagaroon. Yes. Reoccupied by Daggett Uthal and fortified as an advance base for 6th House operations. Blight storms more frequent and widespread. Soul sickness spreads in regions close to Red Mountain. Third Age 410. 6th House bases founded near Gnar Mok and in waterfront areas of Vivec. 6th House operatives exploit smuggler organizations and communications to spread their influence among victims, unbalanced by Daggett dream sendings. Same era 415. Small cells of 6th House cultists in every town in Vardenfell. Larger 6th House operations are concealed in remote dungeons where creatures are bred and cultists are trained for the coming struggle. 2 years later, Almalexian Soda still lose the artifacts Keening and Sunder to Daggett, Odros and Vemin. You suck! Vivec rescues Almalexia and Soda. You even need rescuing? Oh my god. But failing to recover Keening and Sunder, the Tribunal retreat from the Red Mountain in disorder. Why did you go there again? Oh, for God's sake. Surviving buoyant armiger companions know the Tribunal was forced to retreat, but do not know how serious a reversal the Tribunal has suffered. The 3 tribunes return to their respective capitals and continue to perform their ritual functions. The tribunes continue to grow weaker without access to the heart, and because of resources required to support the coast fence. The inner circle of the temple priesthood has begun to suspect that the tribunes have suffered seriously from wounds and demoralization in the wake of reverses at Red Mountain, but do not recognize the scale of the problem. And then, a couple more years later, campaign of 6th House assassinations of prominent Imperial citizens and Clau Imperial sympathizers, sudden increase in number and seriousness of attacks by cultists and victims deranged by soul sickness. Noted with concern, Daggett can apparently perceive and communicate directly through his cultists. Sleepers and dreamers are often reported speaking as though with Daggett's voice and intention. Little is known about the features, scale, or stage of completion of Kulakan, second Numidium. No one has gained entrance to the Heart Chamber since very long ago, when Keening and Sunder were captured, and they were possibly substantially aiding in Kulakan's construction. Oh God, Jesus, why do you write so much? Seriously. Okay, one more. Oh, I'm going to die. And then we're gonna have to chat with him. Oh, jeez. This might not even be a single episode, this could be like multiple. Nerevar at Red Mountain. The following is from the Ago Epigrapha, the hidden writings of the Tribunal Temple. It is a scholarly retelling of a tradition transmitted through the Ashlanders concerning the battle at Red Mountain and subsequent events. The Ashlanders associate this tale with the telling of Alandro's soul. A shield companion of Nerevar came to live among the Ashlanders after the death of Nerevar and during the ascension of the Tribunal. There are many variant treatments of this story, but the primary elements are consistent throughout the tradition. The murder of Nerevar, the tragic fate of Dagat-Ur, and the profane source of the Tribunal's divine power are denied by temple doctrine as ignorant Ashlander superstition and not widely known among civilized Dunmer. Alright, let's see. Resdayn, present-day Morrowind, was contested ground between two very different types of Ma. The Chimer, who worshipped Daedra, and the Dwemer, who worshipped a profane and secret power, also known as logic. Nobody has access to logic. That would be ridiculous. These two people warred with each other constantly until their lands were invaded by a young, vibrant, and violent alien culture, the Nords. I see, so they came from space. Those bastards. Two heroes, one from the Chimer and one from the Dwemer, Indoril, Nerevar, and Dumak Dwarf Orc, made peace between their people and together ousted the alien invaders. Then these two heroes worked long and hard to maintain that peace thereafter. Though their counselors thought it would not last, or worse, that it shouldn't, Nerevar's queen and his generals, Almalexius the Vivec, told him to claim all Resdayn for his own, but Nerevar would not listen, for he remembered his friendship with Dumak. There would be only peace. Well, until Dagat-Ur arrived, House Dagat had discovered the source of the profane and secret power of the Dwemer. The logic? No, not the logic. The legendary heart of Lorkhan, which Dumak's people had used to make themselves immortal and beyond the measure of the gods. In fact, one of their high priests, Kagranak, was building a new god so that the Dwemer could reclaim Resdayn for their own. You don't know that. Maybe he was just curious. The Tribunal urged Nerevar again to make war on the dwarves. Nerevar was troubled. He went to Dumak, his friend of all, and asked if what Dagat-Ur said was true. But Kagranak and the high priest of the Dwemer had kept their new god secret from their king, and Dumak said that the Dwemer were innocent of any wrongdoing. Oh jeez. Nerevar was troubled again and made pilgrimage to Himalayas, the sacred temple of Azura, who confirmed that all the Dagat-Ur said was indeed true. That the new god of the Dwemer should be destroyed for the safety of not only Resdayn but for the whole world. Nah. When Nerevar went back and told his tribunal what the goddess had said, his queen and generals felt themselves proved right and again counseled him to war. There were reasons that the Dwemer and Chimer had hated each other forever. What? That sentence didn't feel right. Finally, Nerevar, angered that his friend Dumak would lie to him, went back to Wadenfell. This time the Chimer King was arrayed in arms and armor and had his host around him, and he spoke harshly to Dumak Dwarf Orc, King of the Red Mountain. You must give up your worship of the heart of Lorkhan, or I shall forget our friendship and the deeds that were accomplished in its name. And Dumak, who still knew nothing of Kagranak's new god, but proud and protective as ever of his people, said, We shall not relinquish that which has been our way for years beyond reckoning, just as the Chimer will not relinquish their ties to the lords and ladies of Oblivion. And to come at my door in this way, arrayed in arms and armor, and with your hosts around you, tells me you have already forgotten our friendship. Stand down, my sweet Nervar, or I swear by the 15 and 1 golden tones I shall kill you and all your people. Wow, that escalated quickly. And so Chimer and Dwemer went to war. Well, right there. The Dwemer were well defended by their fortress at Red Mountain, but the bravery and cleverness of Nervar's queen and the generals drew most of Dubak's armies out into the field and kept them there, so that Nervar and Degat could make their way into the Hard Chamber by secret means. There, Nervar met Dumak and the Dwarf King, and they both fell from grievous wounds. Why? Surely he should have been informed by now what was going on there, if he was in the fucking chamber. Anyway, Dagat slew Kagranak and took the tools Dwemer used to tap the power of the heart. Okay, that's new. He went to his dying lord Nervar and asked him what to do with these tools, and Nervar summoned Azura again, and she showed them how to use the tools to separate the power of the heart from the Dwemer people. Ooh. That's new. Except if he could summon Azura, he wouldn't have needed to go all the way to fucking Himalayas. So I don't believe you. And on the fields, the tribunal and their armies watched as their Dwemer turned into the dust, and all around them as their stolen immortality was taken away. I see. I don't think he summoned Azura, but I guess that is a reasonable result. We'll see what happens to Dagat when we take away his immortality. If he turns into dust, well, that's one point of evidence for this paper. Anyway, back in Red Mountain, Nervar told Dagat to protect the tools and the heart chamber until he returned. Dagat said, "But shouldn't we destroy these tools at once so that they might never be used for evil again?" Oh, don't be silly, Dagat. But Nervar was confused by his wounds and his sorrow, for he still loved Dumak and the Dwemer people, and so went to the fields outside of Red Mountain to confer with his queen and his generals, who had foreseen that this war would come, and whose counsel he would not ignore again. I will ask the tribunal what we shall do with them, for they have had wisdom in the past that I had not. Stay here, loyal Dagat, until I return. Very, very specific, huh? Then Nervar told his queen and generals all that had transpired. See, another thing that was strange, I mean, they were immortal, right? So how could Dagat kill Kagranak? Doesn't make any sense. Again, if he made the entire race immortal, he would have made himself immortal as well. Anyway. As I was saying, the Nervar told his queen and generals all that had transpired on the Red Mountain, how the Dwemer had used special tools to turn their people into mortals, and of the wondrous power of the heart of Lord Khan. The tribunal decided that the Chimer would learn how to use this power so that Nervar might reclaim Resdain and the world for their people. Nervar did not expect or want this, so he asked his queen and generals to help him summon Azura again for her guidance. Jesus Christ. Just go to Himalayas already. But the tribunal had become as greedy as Kagranak upon hearing of the power of the heart, and they coveted it. They made ritual as if to summon Azura as Nervar wanted, but Almalexi used poisoned candles, and Sodasil used poisoned robes, and Vivec used poisoned invocations. Holy shit. That guy's breath must be lethal! And Nervar died. Probably not of poisoning, he probably just like walked into a candle, got set on fire, and then couldn't move out in time or something. Yeah, that sounds legit. And then Azura came forth anyway, cause I don't know, she's fucking crazy and like that, and cursed the tribunal for their foul deeds. She told them that she would use her powers over dusk and dawn to make sure Nervar would come back and take things right again. Make things right again, sorry. Well, you sure took your time, Azura. How long it's been? At least an era almost. An era has basically ended since then. Jeez. But the tribunal laughed at her and said that soon they would be gods themselves and that the Chimer people would forget their old ways of worship. And Azura knew this would be true and that it would take a long time before her power might bring Narrower back. Oh, 'cause you suck. What you have done here today is foul beyond measure, and you will grow to regret it, for the lives of gods are not what mortals think, and matters what that way on the years to mortals. Wait, what? Jesus Christ, God, start speaking English. Anyway, it matters that way only years to mortals weigh on gods forever. Abuhu. And so that they might know forever their weak deeds, Azura changed the Chimer into Dunmer, and their skin turned ashen, and their eyes into fire. Let this mark remind you of your true selves, who, like ghouls, fed on the nobility, heroism, and trust of their king. And then the tribunal went into Red Mountain and met with Dagat-Ur. Dagat-Ur saw what had been done, for his skin had changed as well, and he tried to avenge the death of Narvar, but to no avail. He was driven off and thought dead. The tribunal found the tools he had been guarding, and through study of Kagranak's methods, turned themselves into gods. Thousands of years later, after their apotheosis, the tribunal are still the gods of Morrowind, and the old ways of worship are remembered only by a few, and the murder of Narvar is known to fewer. But his queen and generals still fear his return, and the words of Azura linger long, and they see the mark of her curse on their people every day. Oh jeez, I don't know who to believe anymore. Are you doing that now? Sup, Vivec? How's it hanging? Ah, impressive! By using your trick, you managed to make me fall off your head. That's more than the other gods have managed to accomplish.